truth. Really, that's all we know. Keep it real and authentic. This truth be told. Only the truth. Tune in, cause you gotta watch. It's like you with us while we kick it in the barbershop. Here to motivate and inspire. Hosted by the real deal and the God Barber. I hope that you ready. Keep it funny and edgy. Let's go. You already know. Truth be told. Let's go.
What's going on, Truth Be Told? This is your boy, The Real Deal. I got, the one and only, the man himself, the God Barber. And also, D-Ray is in the goddamn building for the backyard barbecue today. You know what I'm saying? You know, when we do the backyard, you know what time it is, man. We just riding and vibing today, man. Hey, man, I just want to give a special thanks before we even get started. My man Stanley, Albritton Jr.
Stan the man.
Yeah, man. He came through. Boy. Came through, man. Also, we had your crew, the 88, 89 guys.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Man, that was a good time.
Teammates. Yes, sir.
What that was? The unknown?
The unknown, you know what I'm saying?
Hell, they don't know it,
my boy Johnny Carly, and also, what you call him?
Red Dog Huggins, baby.
There it is.
Red Dog, baby.
Well, that reminds me of Red Bug. The Red Dog, Red Bug. They.
No, man. They just call them red because they light skinned. That's all.
Light skinned dude was in at some point too. Was he in back then?
Yeah, man. Craig.
Well, I mean, from what he was talking about, it seemed to have been in.
Craig was in, man. Craig, light skinned with good hair. That was in style.
Boy.
He got look. All the light skinned guys back in the days was the Barge.
Yeah.
With good hair.
Yeah.
Christopher Williams had good hair.
Yeah.
Who else had good hair?
He had the Billy, sure.
Billy D. Williams had good hair.
Billy D. Now, Colt 45
he had that good hair. So Craig was up in there.
He did talk about drinking that Colt 45 at one point too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Shoot, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Also, man, another, one of our most inspirational shows, man, and informational.
Yes.
We had Dominic and also Doc Fitch came through, and talked about, PSA screening and also the colonoscopy, man. Y'all make sure y'all do that if y'all have not as well. Hey,
man.
Once again, man, this is Backyard. If you joining in tonight, man, make sure you subscribe to our channel. Hit that like button, comment. You know what I'm saying? Anything we say tonight, just go ahead and comment about it. I don't care,
Chime
man.
Chime in.
Agree with Desiree. I don't care what you do. You know what I'm saying? T-Green. You know what I'm saying? Hey,
well, they chime in.
Hey, I'm finna go back a little bit, man. This is coming out of left field, but this coming out of left field because
here it is.
I saw something on TV, man. Not on TV, well, the internet. We watch the internet now. That's our
That's
TV.
the TV, yeah. Mm-hmm.
We watch it. That's the TV. So I saw something, man, and it kind of. I thought about that thing. Mm-hmm. Right, I thought about it for a second. I said, man, let me ask the crew, man, what they think about this. But I was watching one of the episodes with Cam, and he had one of the guys that's a brother of the Muslim, the nation. That's what they call it, the nation, right?
You watching who?
Cam Newton.
Okay. Oh yeah.
My boy from the nation.
Yes, sir.
And one thing he said, man,
yes,
Cam said that he don't believe that white people can teach black history. Like, he don't believe that that's possible. And for his reason that he said, is basically that how can they teach it if they never experienced it, right? I'm going to just be straight up honest with you. I disagree with that. I don't know how y'all feel, but I disagree with that. Well, let me ask you, because you're about to say something. Do you agree with Brother Cam?
I don't know that I necessarily agree because, at the end of the day, those that are teaching it now didn't necessarily go through the history part of it.
Right.
What we're living now will be history down the line.
Right.
So just like we're learning about it through, books and, stories, they will be learning the same thing in the same way.
Right.
So I don't necessarily agree with that.
You see where you're coming from, though.
It's probably, they would feel like it's not ideal, but at the end of the day, you got black teachers teaching world history. So, what's the difference? we all learning from something.
Should white people be teaching black history though?
Why not? If they ain't got no black teachers to teach it.
Well, I agree now. I agree. I brought up the same point because I'm like, hey, I mean,
so you feel y'all both feel like a white teacher could teach black history.
I think a white teacher could effectively teach black history just as well as I can.
But you know
what?
what?
For the simple fact of, like Desiree said, I never personally experienced what our ancestors did. I had to learn about it, right?
Yeah.
If a white person has the passion and the drive and the interest in our culture just as much as I do,
Right.
it's just information. Why can't they teach it?
And I feel like if they decide to take that on, then they do have the drive and the passion. And why not? I don't. You don't think so, Green?
Well, I seen that same podcast with Cam and the brother from the nation. Okay. I don't think so. I'm gonna tell you why. Because of that same podcast, you forgot what he said, real. Yeah, a white person can teach history from slavery when they slaved us on to now. What about before slavery? See, a lot of black folks were doing a lot of things, a lot of good things. We was who we were before slavery. So yeah, a white man can teach us from slavery to now because they enslaved us. So they do have a lot of history with us because they made our history from slavery. But they can't teach black history. They can teach history from slavery.
I think they can, because again, if they're passionate about our culture, which you do have some people who are, again, they're going to get information. They're not stopping at just what the public school system or that stuff. You're going to dig deeper because, again, at the end of the day, somebody going to question you as the white man or woman teaching about our history. So you can't just come with surface stuff about slavery. You're going to have to dig deep.
Yeah.
So I think it's a possibility because there's so much information out there for anybody to obtain to say, hey, listen, this is the curriculum and this is what we're going to go based on, not the whitewash stuff. But we're going to get down to the nitty gritty before slavery and all of that. So I think it's possible.
But you know what? But we was on top. You know what I'm saying? They say we was in Africa. We from Africa. We was on top. We was living. We was doing what we do. Then from history, the white man came.
The Europeans.
And got us from slavery. I mean, took us from over there. Now, from my understanding, they say some of us back in the African days sold us to the white man. That's what some people say. But we was already on top. That's why they came and got us. Okay, but let's talk about why the white person don't talk about when we was on top. We don't never hear
but you know,
what the
Grant,
black
I think
folks
we
was
still
doing.
on top.
Huh?
I think we're still on top.
Well,
it's just we are the minority.
Yeah.
We still on top.
Well, do we truly feel like we on top in the United States?
No.
That's
why I said we're the minority. But again, just like going back to our first episode when we asked about, like, when we were talking, matter of fact, we'll talk about the draft and how they want us to dumb down. Like, we got to dumb down. So that's why I say we're on top.
Yeah.
We set the standard. We are the standard. So no matter how much they try to keep us down, we always find a way to rise up.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I don't know. That was just interesting, man. I thought about that thing a little bit. And I'm like, I don't know if I agree with Cam with that.
Okay, let me ask y'all, since we on this. I went to HBCU, all black college. It wasn't no white professors at my school.
Right.
They teaching no black history. Did we learn about black history at Southeast? I ain't talking about Martin Luther King and Malcolm X. Did we truly learn about black history?
No, not.
I don't think at any public school.
Yeah.
No.
Did you learn about black history at University of Florida? Was it a black history,
No.
African American studies with a white man teaching it?
No,
I'm saying I ain't saying it's not possible. I'm saying, have you seen it? Have y'all?
I can't say that I've seen it. I can't personally say that I've seen it because when I did African American literature at St. Pete College, my professor was a black lady. But I mean,
that's what I'm saying. We saying it's possible, but have y'all seen it?
Well, I've seen. I don't know the little white lady name. But she's very spunky.
Is it the one lady who be on? Is she an older lady?
She's an older lady.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about. Oh, I can't think of that lady's name.
I gotta be honest with you.
Cause she said it straight.
She probably. I'm pretty sure she know way more than I do.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure if that lady was teaching a class about black culture, black history, I think she'll do a phenomenal job.
I would want to be in her class. From the things I've seen, I would want to take.
So do y'all think a black person can teach white history?
They do all the time.
Yeah.
They do now.
Yeah.
That's what I was saying. When you have your world history classes and stuff like that, that's.
I think Cam was just coming from the standpoint of the skin color.
Yeah.
And that's the part where I got to push it back because once again, if you take what you said with the slavery on, right? They can only teach you slavery on. If you want to learn about anything before slavery, you're going to have to research it. Right? So it ain't no difference in a white person walking in this door, Hispanic person, whatever, walking this door. If they want to teach from that point backwards, they're going to have to research it.
Yeah.
But, I'm glad. But this is a good conversation. And I'm glad we talking about this, boy, because I got some backyard questions about this scenario.
Okay.
Yeah, about this scenario, man. It's good right here. This is good.
Yeah.
All right.
It's good.
Well, I appreciate that, man. It's good to get your points. All right.
Yeah, it's good.
All right. Let's move on to another topic.
Okay.
Right? That's right.
He's smiling.
Right.
This boy smiling.
Well, just recently, we've been off air for a little bit, so we kind of catching up. We missed the whole thing with Shannon Sharpe.
Oh,
right?
Lord.
Shannon Sharpe has some text messages and some clips, some voice messages, and some whatever the case may be. I heard it's actually a video that he messed around with a younger girl that was at the time, I believe they say 19 years old when he started messing with this white girl. Right? I don't care so much about the color per se. In our culture, sometimes that is a big part of this whole thing. Why you go mess with a young girl, but on top of that, a young white girl, right? So, Bill Belichick, older white gentleman, right? He is now dating a younger female girl, which this young lady, I believe now, is 24. I know Bill has been with this girl for a couple years. She could have been 20. She could have been 21 when they started.
She could have been 19.
We don't know. I don't know that. I will go as far as 20, 21. All right. Is there a big difference with what Bill did?
No.
And what this young lady is?
No.
Yeah, the other race said no.
Why not?
What's the difference? They're both their grandfathers. What does it matter?
So I mean, outside the obvious, which is this young lady is accusing sexual assault. All right, that's the big one, right?
Yeah,
that's the big one. The girl that's with Bill is not accusing him of anything like that, right? Yeah. But I guess I'm getting down to, if Bill caught her at 21 and Shannon caught this other girl at 19. Is there a difference, or should that not matter?
Why would it matter? You're saying the teen and the early 20s.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
What's the difference? How old is the girl now that Shannon dealt with?
She says she's 21 now.
I think she's 21.
Okay, so.
Doing some math?
Yeah.
Let me break it down.
Shannon and this young lady, that's a 35-year age difference. So he could be her daddy, right?
Right.
Bill Belichick at his age now, and the lady who he's dealing with at her age now, that's 49. That's granddaddy.
Woo.
So,
Woo.
I mean, if we're doing numbers, the only difference is you're saying 19, she's still a consenting adult, correct?
Well, I like look at it a little bit different. You know what I'm saying? Yes, I agree with you.
Okay.
I don't think either one can go to jail for
Correct.
what happened, right? Mm-hmm. But I think it's kind of indifferent when you come to you dating a really really young girl and you're that age. I do. But for some reason, I'm wanting to say 21. We can drink, right? Legally.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, 18, you can drink too in other countries.
But we in the United States.
I'm just saying, people travel.
But we in the United States.
But people travel.
So Bill is in the same boat as Shannon.
Yes.
If you go by the age, man.
If we're looking at
You're just
age,
looking at age.
I mean, because again,
I see what you're
legal
saying,
is
Real.
18.
Yeah.
A legal consenting adult is 18,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You do a crime, they putting you in the jail. You're not going to juvenile,
Yeah.
Right.
right? So she was grown. Mm-hmm. She made a choice.
So here's the bigger issue.
Okay.
What I'm getting at. Why is everybody giving Shannon so much? We take away the sexual assault. Why is everybody giving Shannon such a hard time and Bill not?
Well, I can tell you
Go ahead, Green.
with Shannon, because I watch all the nightcaps. I enjoy their podcast. Him and Chad Johnson. I like Club Shay Shay because he doing big things outside of football. Mm-hmm. I mean, he done created a whole different atmosphere for himself, for his money and just being he a TV star now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And the stuff that he's an old school guy, and he always referring back to his grandma and granddad for all the good knowledge they put him in. Mm-hmm. So Shannon, to me, he put the image out on TV that he's one of those guys that you would want your son or want these younger football players to talk to, because it seemed like he got it all together.
Okay.
Yeah. And then this come out.
Yeah.
Now you saying, man, Shannon, hold up, man. You portrayed this image on TV, but off TV, you a whole different brother. You got Chad on your show. Chad be letting it hang. Shannon, I want you to be a little more freaky. Do this, do that. Oh no, Shannon. Oh no, Chad, I don't do that. No, Chad.
Well, I mean,
you doing stuff freakier than what Chad be talking about.
Yeah, I was gonna say when the Instagram Live went on.
Yeah. So the image that he put out,
That's the problem.
don't match what he just did.
So you think that's the main issue?
That's the main issue to me. And another thing too, man. I do know 18 is legal. But do it, make it right. No, it don't make it right in my eyes, especially when you got kids older than that girl.
Right.
Shannon always speaking positive about his kids, always speaking positive about this and that, especially his grandma. You think his grandma would be happy? From the way he talk about his grandma now, all the knowledge he get from his grandma.
Yeah.
You think she'll be happy to see Shannon bring a 19-year-old girl to her house?
Well, he probably wouldn't bring the girl to the house.
I'm just saying, even
just a hookup.
Even be happy for him to even be caught up in a situation like this.
Yeah.
From what he appeared to be on TV.
Right.
He's appeared to be upstanding, appeared to be a guy that got himself together. I'm not saying, I know people who watching this show might say, hey, Green, hey, man, she 19, man, she legal. Yeah, she legal, but it don't match his persona on TV, the stuff he always talk about.
Yeah.
You know, he's like a stand-up guy.
You know, I gotta agree with you because even when Chad tried to hook him up, he always shy away. Like,
Yeah, always be like,
no.
Yeah, I don't do that. Yeah.
And then what makes it even worse is when he had his guest. I can't remember the guy name, the comedian on Club Shay Shay, and he had impregnated a younger girl, and Shannon was talking to the dude like, God darn, dog, you telling me you had this? Where did you find that in 21? Was it Forever 21? Like
Yeah.
he was dogging the dude, right?
That's it. Where y'all meet? How do you ask out? I'm interested. I'm an older guy myself.
We were.
She worked on the show too?
No, she was on the show that you just said.
Okay.
I'm not embarrassed about that.
I'm like, 20. She 23. Darnell. 20. Why you didn't date her mom? Why you go for the Darnell? You like him young, though.
Yes, she's a lot younger than me. But that's what it was. I gave my opportunity. I gave myself an opportunity. Why you hating on me?
Where y'all meet at? Forever
And
21?
then weeks later,
This come out.
So
man.
it's a big difference between what Shannon doing is like I'm hitting what you're hitting. The persona he puts out, what he puts out there, and then you got Bill. Hey, this is my girlfriend.
But Bill never put out a persona. We don't know what. Even when Bill get on TV, Bill don't even talk. We don't even know what type of personality Bill got. We don't. But Shannon give us his personality every time you watch his show, his podcast. He give out a personality that you won't even believe he did that. Cause you feel like he got. Man, he even said one time on this show that he don't want to be caught by himself in the elevator with a girl.
Yeah.
He said that now. He said, man, if I get on the elevator, I see a lady coming on, I get off. I don't want to be in the elevator by myself with a girl.
Right.
She can say whatever.
Right.
But then this come out.
Right.
You know, like, so it's hard to just believe it, man.
Yeah.
You know, that's just me, man. That's just because I watch Shannon all the time. You know, we athletes, and we love to see athletes prosper outside of their professional sport.
Right.
What Shannon doing, this don't always happen to athletes.
Right.
This man became a mega YouTube star.
Right.
You know, and he always talking good. He always trying to explain to the young guys in the NFL and in the NBA when they do something crazy. He always like the dad. He take the dad role, the granddad role.
Yeah.
Now when these kids see this, they gonna be like, man, Shannon, you can't tell us nothing.
Well, yeah, you're right. That's a great point, Grant. I never ever looked at it that way,
Yeah.
and I don't know if that's the main thing, but when I do hear women chime in, it's along that line, right? Like, dang, bro, you don't want the 35 thick, you don't want the 44, independent. You don't want anything, Shannon. But we come to find out you do want something. It's just a little younger in a different shade. So that's a good point.
That's what I'm
Green,
saying, man.
That's a good point. I don't know. Oh man. All right.
But Bill Belichick.
I'm just saying, I'm talking about age-wise.
Yeah, I agree with Desiree on that. It's the same, man. Bill Belichick with a girl 24, he's 73, whatever.
He has kids older than her. So.
Yeah, man. I mean,
Do you think it's something? Do you think something wrong when people do stuff like that?
I don't.
Stuff like what?
When they date women with that huge of an age, I don't want to say age gap because you can be 35 and 86, right? But I'm talking about when you catch them at 19, 20, 21, and you were 50 some years old.
Me personally, man. Everybody live different. And maybe. Guys, it seems like a lot of rich guys that's old like that, they deal with young women because they can control them a little better. You know, the young girls ain't finna nag at them because they just want. I'm sure they just want the money, so they're not finna make them upset to stop the money. So whatever the old man say, they gonna be like, yeah, they gonna do it. But the older women their age, they gonna be like, man, you better go to hell.
Yeah.
You know, go to hell. But even with Shannon, I don't even want to get back on Shannon, but when you look at his show, don't get me wrong, it's Nightcap and it's Club Shay Shay. So yeah, he do take charge. That's his show. He take charge. But when you listen to Shannon, it ain't too many times he wrong in his mind.
Right. Right.
It ain't too many times he wrong in his mind.
Right.
You know, he likes to be in charge. So you get a younger girl so you can be in charge. The older women, he always say, man, look, man, I don't want no woman around me farting and all that stuff. Old women gonna fart. The young girl might not fart. They might go around the corner just like you want.
Yeah.
You feel me? So Shannon ain't trying to deal with nobody that's probably
Mature.
gonna challenge him.
Mature.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think,
That's just
I think,
how I look at it.
me personally, I think that's dangerous.
Yeah.
I think it's a dangerous move to mess around with somebody that young because younger people on some other stuff. They express themselves a lot differently.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? With the we necessarily didn't come up in the social media thing, but they have.
Yeah.
And sometimes that social media, that's a weapon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I'll be more cautious to mess with somebody that young. One, I don't got nothing. We got nothing in common other than maybe having sex, right? But outside of that, she's a wild card. I don't know what she's gonna do.
Yep.
I don't know the move that she's gonna make, especially when you trying to keep it on the wraps.
Well, it appears that that's the situation now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That seems to be the situation now. We're using social media as a weapon. So
And then so what's the cutoff age? Like, okay, say like I like old women. They say like I like a woman, they say 60. So that means I might talk to a woman 59. I might talk to a woman 58. I'm still in the old range. But if I like young girls,
how low do you go?
how low you go? You got one, Shannon got one 19. Hell, he might go 18. Hell, you might go 17. Push come to shove, he might go 16.
I would like to hope he wouldn't go that low.
I'm just saying, I hope not. But
Well, we would hope he wouldn't go.
then he
We
going
would
to
hope he
jail.
wouldn't go 19,
yeah.
but he did.
What's the cutoff? What's the cutoff?
Yeah.
What's the cutoff?
It's women in the industry the same way though.
Yeah, well, I just about to get on that now.
It's women in the industry. I'm not gonna just say it's an industry thing because there's locals that do the same thing. But I think it gets to that point to where people get to a certain age and, there is a saying, 2 old batteries can't jump
There it is.
themselves.
is.
But again, I do feel like there should be boundaries to it,
Yeah.
But
But one thing, they're not breaking the law.
right.
They're not
They're
breaking
not
law.
breaking the law. Ain't nobody going to jail.
I think morally, if we take away the sexual assault
Yeah.
stuff,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think people frowned upon that for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
All right, man. Well, Green.
Y'all, man, look, man. I didn't know I talk about church a lot on our backyard. Because I talk about church a lot.
Oh, you be on church now. You be on the church.
Because I'm in a barbershop, man. They have
I like
questions.
to talk about the church.
Yeah, and we ask the older people, and they give us answers.
and
they
so in the
always
shop,
say,
they always talk about the church.
sometimes, not all the time, but
Yeah.
when we do talk, they always say, man, Green, that's a good question.
Wait. Green asked a good question. Once again, Green, is the shop talking?
Only when the conversations come up. I just feed off the conversation.
Right.
Okay.
And then off the conversation, I ask, okay, what about this? And they say, hey, it's a good question.
You must be got a church question.
I got, hey, man, I just.
Well, let's see what you got, Green. What's going on?
Look, man. All right, I wrote it down, so I want to make sure I say it right.
Okay.
Listen. If you're never free of sin, right? They say nobody's free of sin, right? Mm-hmm. So what's the purpose of church? See,
Well-
these kind of questions we be asked. If
Well,
you're
it-
never free of sin, they say everybody got sin. You're going to sin every day. You're going to do. So what's the purpose of going to church?
I think the purpose of going to church is to strive to be a person that is walking as righteous as they possibly can, and also spread the word of the gospel. So, yeah, we are not free of sin. That's true. We going to sin in some type of capacity. But I think it's always the desire and the hope that, you know, we are learning, and from each opportunity that we learn, we try to get better each day. And the church gives you that hope. It gives you that place to learn, and it also gives you a place to forgive yourself, because that's just how it is. We are going to be walking in sin. I think there is a place for church, for sure.
See, that's a good question, ain't it?
Yeah, that was good, and I love the response.
See, that's a good question, real. See, that was that bad?
No, you say that like you got something else coming.
I mean, what do you think? You asked the question, but what do you think?
Aye, man. I just, like I say, what's the purpose? I'm like, we sinning every day. Even when you go to church, it's sin inside the church. Okay,
Because we're not a perfect people, though, but we serve a perfect God.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. So, like I say, I ain't got nothing against it, real. It's just a question.
Yeah.
I mean, I can
Yeah.
go on, you know.
Yeah,
but,
yeah.
You know, I just throw the question out.
No, I you know what? I think let's just say if it wasn't a church.
But what's the okay? Is the church the building, or is the church two or more people gathered together?
The church is the temple, so we're the church.
That's what I'm saying. So why they call that the church? Why
that's
they
the
call
building?
it?
That because you have scripture that says, "Fail not to assemble yourself."
Mm-hmm.
And then what you were saying, the 2 or 3. So where 2 or 3 are gathered in my name.
Mm-hmm.
So it's one of those.
So
Where
really-
basically we get strength. We pull on strength from each other. So some people may feel like, I'll say this. I mean, I'm in church every Sunday, and I love it. During the pandemic, it was different, you know, at least for a little while for us, to where you couldn't go to church. And yeah, you can watch it online, and sometimes you have to watch it online, depending on travels or whatever. But I'll say this, for me, it's a difference of being in the building than just watching it home. There's a fulfillment that I get. And it to me, it just gives you that recharge. It gives me that recharge to where whatever I may be dealing with or battling silently, because I deal with a lot of things silently, to where, okay, this gives me the strength that I need to get through whatever I'm going through. So.
See that real good question, real. See though.
It is a good question, G. I ain't said nothing big though. It's a question. You know what I'm saying?
I got food for thought.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah,
Okay, let me ask y'all this. All right. If I tell you, Real and Desiree, just say this. If I'd never been a champion, could I teach your child how to be a champion? If I never experienced being a champion, would you feel comfortable me teaching your child how to be a champion? Like if I come to your house, Real, come to your house, Desiree, and say, hey, Real, I want to teach your son how to be a champ. Desiree, I want to teach your son how to be a champ. Then y'all come to me and say, well, Green, have you ever been a champion? No. So how y'all feel?
A champion at what, though?
Like, let's say a champion, let's say football, basketball, baseball, or just a champion. I'm going to teach your son how to be a champ, but I never been one. Is that possible?
Well, I don't know if I can teach. I don't think anybody can teach me how to be a champion. I just don't feel. I think that's just because I won a championship don't mean I'm a champion.
Right, because you could have just been on the team and didn't contribute anything to it.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying.
But what if I never been on a champion team? I never even been on a team that even won a champion.
What if somebody said it's a mindset?
It's a mindset. I'm not saying how would y'all feel Like how you know how some people feel like, man, how you gonna teach my son how to play football and you ain't never played?
Right, and some people and they
Some
say
people feel that way, you know.
and they definitely say that. I mean, they say that about coaches too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? But there are some coaches that may be the sorriest player, but they're a heck of a coach.
Yeah.
But they
know what I'm
Some
saying?
people study the craft of the game, though, to where you might not have had to been the best player on the field or even played the game. You got female coaches in the NFL. You got female coaches, you know, in different areas. So it's like you don't necessarily have to have played that in order to teach that.
So y'all will feel comfortable with somebody teaching your kid how to play
But I don't
football.
want nobody coming to me talking about you gonna teach my kid how to be a champion, because what we getting at, like,
You can't teach my son how to be a
Yeah.
champion. Now you can
Especially if I ain't never been on the champion team
well, I'm just
or
saying it's a
nothing.
mindset. So
Yeah.
I mean, if someone came to me and said that, then I would feel like the motive is wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Because if all you're worried about is a champion, then you're not necessarily worried about the development.
Mm-hmm.
It's just we gonna win, whatever it takes to win.
Yeah. You know, like they say, LeBron had to go to Miami to learn how to be a champion. Remember? Because, you know, D-Wade was already a champion. So LeBron left Cleveland to go to Miami to learn how to be a champion. And then when he left Miami, went back to Cleveland, he brought Cleveland a championship.
No, I do believe in, you know, if you have let's just say basketball, right, where teams have been constantly in the championship, you know, playoffs, and they just got that pedigree about themselves.
Yeah.
They know how to move. They know how to prepare. They know how
Right.
to. They know how to watch film and all that. I believe you
you
can
go.
Yeah.
teach somebody how to prepare like that in order to get results,
Okay.
right? I heavily believe in that because I've been through the fire. I kind of know how that
Yeah.
feels. So when it comes down to that, and if it's worked successfully for years, on top of years, or and it's been proven,
That's a good point.
You know?
So,
Yeah.
so that still could be teaching somebody how to be a champion, because like you say, all
preparation.
that
Yeah.
preparation
Yeah.
go into that. But if I've never been prepared to even become a champion, never even been on a championship team, I don't know the preparation, but I come to you and say, I can teach your son though. That's going to kind of be like,
But I don't know. So I don't know that you would necessarily have needed to have that, because maybe because you didn't obtain that championship,
Yeah.
it gives you the drive to prepare yourself to be able to prepare others for it.
yeah.
And then that's where, and then because you're preparing these champions, then that is your reward. So
Yeah, I think I totally get if someone was to say that, and you probably do look at them kind of weird. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, you gonna look at him kind of weird.
Yeah.
You going
Be like,
you going
But I don't know if you come to me and say that's going, especially considering that you probably didn't have any type of experience.
Yeah, no, yeah.
I think it does weigh a
Yeah.
factor. I think there is a factor in there that can make me look at you crazy. But
Oh, it's gonna make me look crazy, yeah, cause yeah.
But I do believe, like I was saying earlier, you could have been on the team and not really contribute like that, and you are. I mean, it happens all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, that happens all the time. You're part of a team, and now you the trainer, right? I know how to train your kid to be a pro athlete. Well, all right.
Well, then got other food for thoughts. Could you tell somebody about marriage and you never been married?
I absolutely don't believe that.
You
I don't
that's
think you can. I don't think now marriage. Now
ain't been
marriage.
married, so I
But look,
Now,
but
marriage
hey,
is
look,
different now. I'm
somebody can study marriage though.
Listen, bro. I don't care how long you study marriage. Boy, if you ain't in it, you can't tell me nothing about marriage.
there are some people who look at statistics and things like that. So I mean, it's kind of one of those to where somebody could. I mean, you could have a person who is a marriage counselor that, because again, they're going through the technical terms of it, that could have statistics of, well, this and that. But you saying if somebody, so yeah, Green, I can't get nobody no advice.
No, listen.
But
You
see-
you can go to school for that all you want. All right. I go to school to be a doctor. I go to school.
Most therapists.
You can't go to school. You can't go to school.
But one thing you don't want me to do, just because I went to school and I have no experience in operating like that, getting up under your skin and figure. No, you don't. It's gonna take.
What kind of doctor did you become then?
I'm just saying.
A surgeon?
Yeah.
So then, yeah, you got to get practice.
You have to have practice.
you're
That's what I'm
in
saying. With
practice.
marriage, you got to have practice.
They went
You
to
got.
school
So they never been married.
No.
So they never been married. They can't tell nobody about marriage.
Listen, if you've never been married,
You can't tell nobody about
you
it.
can't tell nobody about. You can counsel. You can counsel all you want, but you just counseling off what you learn in the books or what the stories you heard.
Correct.
But you can't. It can't come from a spot of experience, and that's the difference.
Yeah.
It has to be somewhere where you have been through that fire. I know just how hot that coal is. As a counselor, I can tell you that coal is hot.
Yeah.
But I never stepped on it. I never touched it. I really can't tell you to the degree of it. Mm-hmm. But if I've been through it, I stepped on that coal. Oh, I know the temperature.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I know it all too well.
But what if every counselor don't go through the same thing the person that they're counseling? What happens then?
See, this is a good one here, boy. See?
What you mean?
So if they didn't necessarily go through so say they're counseling a couple,
Yeah.
and the couple's dealing with this, but the married counselor has not necessarily been through that, then they still can't tell you about that situation and how to get through that.
Exactly.
So,
Exactly.
so
So what? I think your point is my point.
no, but you said they have to. The person has to be married telling you this. So I'm saying their issue might not be your issue.
Right. You
So-
saying they are married.
Yes.
They are married, but they haven't
Had-
experienced that
correct.
issue. Right. You can't tell me nothing about that.
But
Once again.
wait.
Once again, listen, Desiree, if I'm married,
Yes.
right, I've been through a lot.
Right.
And there's some things I haven't been through. Right? I can't tell you nothing about, well, bro, your wife left you because she started liking a young lady. Bro, I never been through that. I don't know what to tell. I don't know
Because
how
you're
to
not the
get that. I don't know. Right? That's an experience that I've never been through.
That's a good one.
So I'm just
Good.
saying,
Good.
whenever, I mean, if you're going to be counseling in a marriage, bro, you better have.
But I'm saying a counselor, they go through different steps. You know.
What type of stuff?
I'm sure whatever the situation and scenario is, they have different steps to, because matter of fact, they usually probably go to you and say, okay, well, did you see any signs leading up to blah, 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 to get to the root of things.
I think there's always universal things, right?
Yeah.
I think there's always something universal, right? I can give you a universal response
Right.
to any situation,
Yeah.
right? But once again, that's just universal. That's trying to cover the whole goddamn world. I'm talking about, let's get deep. Let's get deep down in there.
Okay.
All right, bruh, you never experienced it,
So you can't tell me about
so
it.
you can't tell me about it. Listen. I appreciate the efforts, but for some type of way, if I'm listening to you and you mess around and say, "Well, I've never been through it," but blah blah blah,
But
it's a disconnect.
But the thing
right
about
there.
it is they're not going to focus on them. If you think about it, they're not there to focus on them. They're there to focus on you and your wife, you
Right.
and your spouse. So they're not going to say, oh, well, from my personal experience, it's not about them. They don't insert themselves into your counseling session.
Correct.
So how would you know? And then let's say you go and you see someone. So you're 6 sessions in or whatever, and you get to something and they say, oh, well, I can't say I've experienced that. You're going to say, oh, time to go. We can't come back to you. But yet you're making progress.
Here's the deal.
Bringing the finger up there.
Right, he put the finger.
Here's the deal.
Okay.
Deal. If I'm married, well, I am married.
I was going to say yes.
I'm
Okay.
married, right?
Right.
We go to a counselor. It's a difference between, in my opinion, a male counselor and a female
here we
counselor.
go.
I think it's a difference.
It's
Okay.
different. It's different, I guess.
And I think if I'm going to a counselor, me personally, I probably won't.
A male counselor.
I actually want a female counselor.
Oh, okay.
But I can see where I think males may want a male counselor, right? Because they feel he
That-
know where I'm coming from.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? It's that type of deal. So that's the same principle. What I'm saying is, okay, you feel where I'm coming from, bro, of this issue. If I go to a female counselor, I'm just gonna hope and pray she see my side. She don't know exactly that what's in me because she don't understand what's in us. She don't.
See, now see.
That's a different breed that's in men.
So, but then it's the same thing when it comes to a man with a woman. So, I mean, how do you win? How does the couple win then? How do you? Because again, somebody has
Just
to
gotta-
be willing to say, okay, we're going in this with an open head, and we're trying to fix whatever the issue is. So, no prejudgment of anything if it's a man or a woman, because your wife can say, "Oh, he's a man. He doesn't understand me."
Yeah.
Oh, she gonna say that definitely.
Yeah.
Correct. And you're saying, "Oh, this a woman. She doesn't
don't
understand
understand
me." So
Right.
where is the common ground to say, okay, in order to resolve what we need to resolve, bump what we think they don't understand about us?
Unless you
No,
go on,
no,
unless you
no,
go on
you
a,
going totally different.
unless you go on a two.
No, this
you
ain't going
can't,
totally
though.
different.
You going-
What I'm telling you is, no,
just
you
said.
do gotta be. No. I'm just saying, I need him to feel me. I need her to feel me. I need you to feel where I'm coming from. Now, when we go in there together, we both got to be open-minded and selfless
Correct.
when it comes down to
Correct.
resolving the issue, right?
Mm-hmm.
So once again, that's a mindset type deal where, okay, no matter what the counselors say, I got to try to understand where my wife is coming from.
Correct.
First, not me,
Correct.
but my wife coming from first, and she got to understand where I'm
Where you
coming
coming
from
from, right.
first, right? So hopefully we are two mature people that we can do that. Now, if you got one person, typically the wife, that can't understand.
So hold on.
He's sorry.
So the two scenarios I just came up with is leading to this next one I'm about to talk about. So listen, real. The reason I came up with the champion thing because I was watching Nightcap
Okay.
and Robert Ory.
He's
JJ
champion.
Redick, the head coach at the Lakers, he said the Lakers need to get in championship shape. And Robert Ory say, how do he know about that? Because he never been the champion. So how you know what type of shape to get in? You know what I'm saying? So they all understand that. Like, how can he
understand.
tell you be in championship shape? But he never been the champion. So what type of shape how do we know?
I understand that.
You know what I'm saying? So then I came with the marriage. Can a person tell you about marriage but ain't never been married?
Right.
So y'all both agree, pretty much no.
I don't think a person can tell me nothing about no marriage if you ain't never been married. Especially if you're
Okay.
single and you never
Okay.
been married. Absolutely not.
So listen to this, y'all. Listen to this. This is going back to the church. How can a person tell you about heaven ain't never been to heaven?
Okay.
I don't know that.
How can a person? So when we go to church, do they talk about heaven? They say how to get there.
Yeah, but I think once again,
But how you
don't-
know how to get there? You never been there.
Because
Oh.
they're going by the BIBLE. Basic instructions before leaving Earth. The Bible.
Yeah.
So, the Bible, that's our roadmap to it. And our pastors or leaders are preaching from the Word of God. So,
Yeah. I mean, I'm just throwing a question. I'm just, hey, this is food for thoughts. Food for thoughts. It's food for thoughts.
I don't think anybody can, because no one has experienced that like that. We can only go by what we've been taught, what it says in the law, and what you should do. in order to make sure that you have eternal life.
Yeah.
That's all we can do.
That's it.
And hopefully you strike a fear in you to make you want to do right, to make sure that you're there at the end of your time here on earth. Now, can Pastor Dion tell me, man, go down 75, turn right, blah, 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 and boy, you right there in heaven? No, it don't work like that, right? But what he can do is to give me to interpret the Bible in a way that can help me understand, because I don't necessarily understand everything when I'm just reading the Bible straight up. Not me personally, I'm not there, but he can interpret that for me to make me understand what it would require of me to make sure I'm there.
Yeah,
Now, yes,
food for
Green,
thought.
that's a tricky one.
Yeah, it's food for thoughts, man. You know.
You tricked us too.
No, I ain't trick y'all.
Yeah, you
No.
did.
Because like I say, I'm a barber, so we have so many conversations.
Yeah.
You know, I hear people saying, "Man, you can't teach my son how to play football. You ain't never played." Like Robert Orr said, "Man, you can't tell me about championship shape, and you ain't never won no championship. You never been in that."
Yeah.
Then I say, "Well, shoot, here be people talking about heaven. Ain't never been there."
Yeah.
You know, so it's like food for thought.
I think there's a great hope for everything. Champion, heaven,
Marriage.
right? I think at the end of the day, there's something that's is said to be right, and there's things that are said to be wrong.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And if I don't think there's no one that want to be wrong. I think we all want to be right.
Yeah.
And whatever and however we need to get there in whatever capacity, whatever category that is, then I think we strive to get there. We try to learn about how to get there because we want to be great.
Right.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I think we want to be great in all aspects. So I think that's in three different categories, but I think in all three is something in common.
Yeah.
Right? Who want to be on the bottom?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So I think that was a good conversation, man.
Yeah, man,
I
just
think that
food
was a
for
good
thought,
piece.
man.
Yeah.
Golly.
He's my golly.
Talking about church, man. Why we can't talk about church though?
Next, well,
Why people be scared to talk about church though? I don't understand that. Why they scared to talk about church? Talk about everything else. Well, let me ask y'all something. Okay, look. Is it stealing outside the church? Do people steal? Do people cheat? Do people rob? Do people lie? Outside the church, right?
yeah.
Do they do that inside the church?
Yeah.
So why they can't talk about that? Why they can't talk about it freely in the church? How they do it outside the church?
What you mean?
Like freely, so we can. Like if I say, man, I seen this guy over here, man, robbing and cheating and lying, and all that there up under the tree. You be like, man. But if I say, man, I seen the dude in church doing that, be like, hey,
Green.
hey.
No, they do talk about it in the church.
Huh?
They talk about it in the church.
I'm saying, but they don't. I came up old school. My grandma say, don't talk about them church folks. Don't talk about that. Leave that church house alone. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But why?
Well, I mean, I think people may
Because
believe
we just
in
said the church is who? Is us.
It's us.
That's the building. So I can talk about it outside the building. As long as we outside that building, we can talk about it. But inside,
you can't talk about it.
can't talk about it.
You just can't talk recklessly in church, is what you're saying.
You
Right.
just can't talk about it, period. No, you just can't talk about it, period.
Like,
No, you-
don't be in the church cussing.
No,
right?
no.
Right? Yeah. Don't be in the church talking about. Now, we ain't talking about the pastor or whoever is preaching on it, but we're saying in the midst of church, we're just talking about something, and then all of a sudden we break out and have a conversation about sex or whatever the case may be.
Don't
Is
do
that
it.
what is that what you're saying? Like
I'm saying
certain
people
things
feel
you
like
don't
okay,
do
I think
in
it's
church.
more so
Remember-
the respect for the house of God than anything.
Absolutely.
Because the same things that's going on. I mean, things go on everywhere.
Yeah.
Church, outside of church. But it's more so the respecting of the house of God.
The house.
So,
So the
so
building,
the place
that building
of
is
worship. The
building
place
is
of worship.
Yeah.
You got to have
So like
you have
real
to have
estate, the lady,
reverence and respect.
You got to have some type
You
of
have-
guy.
the lady should have been talking about bad breath in the church.
That's different. I still say
Like it'd have
that.
been good. She'd have said it outside the church, real
No.
in your mind. Remember, real say she shouldn't have did that.
I think she shouldn't have did it.
He said she shouldn't have did it, but she didn't call anybody out. I still stand on that. She just made a general public.
So she'd have said it outside the church, real. She'd have said that on the church grounds at the parking lot. It'd been all right.
Well, she was in that case. In that case, she's she's speaking to the church.
But no, man,
She's
listen.
speaking to the people.
It's just food for thought. Y'all got to look at me, man. I got a barber mind.
Yeah,
man.
I told you got a lot of church questions.
stuff
You got
goes-
a lot of church
Every
questions.
Yeah,
time.
man, because I got
The people want to know.
football questions. I got all kind of questions. Church, because old folks do come in here, real,
Yeah,
and it be some church stuff going on, and it be very amusing.
yeah, I got you.
There's a whole lot of stuff I can say that the old folks be saying, but
Yeah.
I ain't gonna do that, real.
Right.
But not
right.
that they don't disrespect the church. No.
Right.
They don't be nothing like that.
It's just
It
stuff
be,
that comes up.
Yeah, it be conversations in it about church.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
got
you know, when I grew up, we just couldn't conversate about church.
Yeah.
But
got
some of the old folks in here tell me it's okay
Yeah.
to conversate about church.
I got you.
It's okay.
Yeah.
I got you.
That's all real.
Well, you
I'm gonna
got
start talking about the church. then.
no.
Jesus.
You can talk about church
Yeah.
like you said. Like you said, I don't think it's any. I wouldn't say it's something wrong about talking about it. I just say just be mindful and
Yeah,
respectful.
be mindful. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you got something about Southeast Big Dog?
Yeah, we're talking about Hall of Fame.
Let's get to it, man.
We gotta go. We gotta go. We gotta go. We'll be all night, man. We'd have been out. Red's gonna talk about doggone marriage thing for about 20 minutes. That should have been quick, Red.
He
Yeah,
had
that
to
should've
make his
been-
point. He had to prove his point.
But listen. Southeast Hall of Fame, baby. Athletic. My damn way.
Yes, sir.
Real. You gonna love this real. Boy,
right.
you gonna love this real.
All right, let's go.
Number one. Reggie Real Deal Davis, baby. Yes, sir, baby. Yes, sir. Reggie Real Deal Davis, baby. Hey, look, listen, y'all, listen. I'm not saying this because he my podcast partner. I'm saying this because it's my damn way, and that boy need
Come
to
on
be
now, Real.
on the Hall of Fame.
Come on now,
I don't
Real.
give a damn. He don't get on Southeast Hall of Fame, but he on my
on
Hall
yours.
of Fame, my damn way. Reggie Davis, man. Hey, look. First team All State. Okay, y'all first championship. Y'all went undefeated, real. Remember that first year, your junior year.
Yeah.
From my understanding, watching, I can't remember watching. I was at the game. I just couldn't remember. You know, you can't remember everything. You got to look at film. You got to look
Yeah.
at YouTube.
Yeah.
Real, you started that thing off. You started that game off with the interception. Not only you had one, you had two. So to me, you was the MVP of the state championship game in '93.
I should
Listen
have.
to that. You was the MVP in '93.
I keep
Yes, sir,
I
baby.
keep tell him that. I should
Hey,
have.
real. You ain't got to tell him. I'm telling.
Stand and say, I'm gonna pop my own car.
Boy, look here, boy. Look here, boy.
I had about nine 11 tackles.
See the
Pop your collar.
talk your
Saved
junk.
a saving touchdown.
Talk your junk.
Two INTs.
Talk your junk.
Hey man, come on, man.
Talk
Give
your
me my
jump.
man.
And listen,
Give him his
and
jump.
I'm glad to put my boy in because he a free safety and I played free safety.
Yeah.
One time for the free safeties, baby.
I appreciate that.
One
Chris.
Reggie Real Deal Davis, Southeast Hall of Fame, my damn way.
Yes, sir. Yes,
My
sir.
damn way. And look, and this one right here, this one tricky here, boy.
Yeah.
Only reason I'm putting him on him, boy, because he made a big play against a big school around here. This Farronhorn Jr.
Okay. Okay.
Listen, boy, he was
Yeah.
part of a legendary play against Southeast Manatee. At Manatee.
At Manatee.
From my understanding, the game was tied. I think it was tied. Coach Meckler, I might be getting it wrong, but Coach Meckler wanted the guys to take a knee.
Yeah.
Take a knee. Let's go into overtime.
Yeah.
But the boys in the huddle say, hey, no, we ain't taking no knee. Hey, Farron, you ready? Chris Hart say, Farron, you ready?
Yeah.
Farron said, let's do this.
Yeah.
threw a pass down the sideline real, came up with the catch, took it all the way to win the game, baby. At Manatee.
Game over.
Game over.
Walk off.
It's over, baby.
Time to go.
Barry Horn Jr., you made it, baby. T. Green Hall of Fame.
Yes,
My
sir.
damn way.
Yes, sir.
Anytime you tell the coach,
Yeah.
man, we ain't running that play.
Yeah.
We going for the kill.
Yeah.
We going for the kill. Barry Horn, you made it, baby.
Yes, sir.
Junior. Not senior.
Yeah.
Junior.
Yes, sir. Yes,
My
sir.
damn way.
All right,
Real.
all right. I go with that. I
Real
like
and
that.
Desiree. The next one, this boy here was a running back. He don't get a lot of praise to me. I don't know why the hell he don't get no praise. Because he was part of 2 championship teams
Okay.
at Southeast, 93 and 94.
Okay.
This Darryl McMillan.
D. Mike.
D. Mike, baby.
Yes, sir.
Hey, man. He came at Southeast as a strong safety.
Yes, sir.
He was making big plays at a strong safety. In some kind of way, he translated into a running back
Running back.
and became a good damn running back, baby.
Powerful.
Every time I see Darryl Mike, he don't have too many words to say. He seemed to be kind of quiet.
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
boy, that boy with a helmet on, that number 7.
Yes, sir.
How many yards you had, man?
Boy, you
About
better-
1,700 yards.
But hey, you better ask somebody, huh?
Boy, look here, boy. Hey, look, Darryl Mike, you made it, boy. T. Green, Athletic Hall of Fame at Southeast. My damn way.
Yes, sir.
My damn way. D. Mike.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Hey, listen,
sir.
listen, boy. I got to say this one, man, because we don't get a lot of respect. And we started something at Southeast that people don't talk about. My class of 87 basketball team, my junior year,
Yeah.
the first team to win 20-plus games. Or, no, to win 20 games in the history of Southeast. No other basketball team won 20 games
Until y'all
before 87, my junior year.
I gotta go with that.
That's Hall of Fame to me, baby.
Hall of
Yes,
Fame.
sir.
We didn't win the state, but we started
yeah.
20 games.
Yes, sir.
We started 20 games. You know what I'm saying?
That's saying
No other
something.
team ever
That's
did
saying
it.
something.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So class of 87 basketball team, my junior year, we made it, baby.
We made it, baby.
We made it, y'all. My damn way. My damn way, baby.
Yes, sir.
We did it, y'all. We did it. Elliot Washington, T. Green, Roosevelt Duval, Elijah Savage, William King, Kurt Houston.
Yeah.
Man, I keep going, man. I keep going.
Yeah.
But my damn way.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Cliff Rozier was on that team too, baby.
Yes, sir. Yes,
We
sir.
did it, baby.
Yes, sir.
We did it. Now listen, this right here is very heartfelt. He was very inspirational to everybody who played sports at Southeast during my time. And even if you didn't play sports, he was still inspirational, man.
Okay.
He was really big in our community. And he's also my frat brother.
Okay.
I'm a Sigma, Phi Beta Sigma fraternity. He was also one too. And this is Coach Willie Clemens, baby.
I didn't know it was. I didn't know it was.
Yeah, man.
Okay.
Coach Clemens, man, to me, I can speak to me. He didn't talk too much now.
Soft
Oh,
voice.
man. And he wasn't that tall.
Yeah.
But whenever he said something, he seemed to be so big.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
so tough.
Yeah.
He had so much respect, man. We all respected him, man. He kept us together.
Yeah.
Coach Clemens met to Southeast what Coach Shannon met to Manatee.
Right.
You know,
absolutely.
so I mean, I don't want to go all day with Coach Clemens, man. So, Coach Clemens, I know you're up in heaven somewhere. I'm hoping you up there.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't think you nowhere else.
Conversation.
You know, I ain't putting you in heaven.
He's resting.
I just hope you're up there.
Yeah.
But man, you made it, Coach Clemens, man. My damn way. My
Coach
damn way. I don't know what Southeast waiting on.
Yeah.
He need to go ahead and put that man in there now. Put him in there now. So, Coach Clemens, you made it. My damn way.
Green darn way.
All right.
That's it.
I love it, Green. I appreciate you, man. Hey, man, listen. This is another season. I believe this is season 20.
Season 20.
Man, listen,
Season
man, y'all
20.
did a great
Season
job,
20.
man. Hey, if you, season 20, Green. We'll be back, man. We'll be back in a couple weeks.
So we going on season 21 next?
Yeah, season 21 next, baby. know what I'm saying? Another lineup of guests. Another topics of the front porch and the back. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, you guys, make sure you subscribe to our channel. We enjoyed you tuning in this past season, man. And we also want to say thanks to all our guests that we had.
Thank you
So much for coming on to our platform and sharing your stories and just being a part of this. We're looking forward to next season. We never know who we're going to get. I know it's a couple of people that's out there that we need to come on in.
Oh, yeah, we're gonna
so make sure you come through. Once again, from my boy T Green, the Desiree, the real deal. Hey, we appreciate you and we out.
We out.
Peace.
Truth, really, that's all we know. Keep it real.
We ran out.
Truth be told, only the truth.
1%.
Tune in, cause you
That was
watch.
perfect.
It's like you with us while we kick
Real say, look here. A female ain't gonna understand me. Real say,